In this example, we want to find the order of the matrices below, and if they exist, and where possible to write down the elements in row 2, column 1 and row 1, column 3. Now, before we begin, we need to recognize that a matrix is a rectangular array of numbers, which we call elements, that have all their positions filled. So if we're required to write down the order of the matrix, we're really referring to what is up in the top right corner here. The order of a matrix is always an m by n matrix. The m refers to the row and the n refers to the column. So if we consider matrix A, we count the number of rows, which says 3 rows here, and there's 2 columns. So this would be a 3 by 2 matrix. Looking on to B, looks like it's the other way around. There are 2 rows and 3 columns, so this would be a 2 by 3 matrix. Example C, there are 3 rows, but there is only 1 column, so it's perfectly fine to write a 3 by 1 matrix for that one. Now, if we consider matrix D, in order for it to be a matrix, all of the elements in the rectangular array must be filled. All the positions must be filled. So this does not qualify us to be a matrix. So we say D is not a matrix. Okay, so the second part of our question says, where possible, write down the elements in row 2, column 1 and row 1, column 3. So the way we write these elements down is, if we take the first one for example, we would say lowercase a, row 2, which is the first subscript number, and the second subscript number refers to the column, so row 2, column 1 here. So if we go and look at matrix A, if we take row 2, column 1, row 2 is this here, and column 1 is this here, then we're looking at this value of 3. Okay, so next part of the question, we are looking at row 1, column 3. So if we now consider row 1, this here is row 1. Column 3, row 1 does not have a column 3, that's this bit here. So we then have to say, okay, there's nothing in there, so we can just simply put a dash. If we continue on, we're looking at the element B in row 2, column 1. Okay, so at this stage I'm going to pause the video and complete the rest and see if you can get the right answer as well. Okay, so how did you go with those? Completing the other examples, we've got B with row 2, column 1. Row 2, column 1 is -1, so that's row 2, and column 1, -1 is our answer. So looking at the next one here, row 1, column 3, row 1, column 3, that's quite clear. That's going to be 3. Okay, for example C, row 2, column 1, row 2, column 1, yes, that's true, -2, and row 1, column 3, we can see here that row 1 does not have a column 3, so no answer for that one there. And with example D is not a matrix, so we don't need to continue on with that.